Okay, let's hear from the fighters, most important people on these tables. As we know, current university ranked heavyweight.
This is cheeseburgers, my nigga. Cheeseburgers right here.
See.
Challenging for the
hamburger eating contest.
Boom.
Nathan Hot Dogs Brooklyn eating contest.
Boom. And this is the guy that's gonna beat me.
Tamales eating contest.
Boom.
K1.
From Brooklyn, Big Baby Miller.
Listen, man, we talk about Togo Washington. Think about it. Listen.
What the hell is this thing?
Listen, man, we talk about Togo Washington. Think about it. Listen.
I ain't got feelings. I got to sit break no luggage. I'm gonna grab you like your jerk off.
Listen, like I said before, ain't nothing was given to me.
Bruh.
I had it. My path to this championship belt is unorthodox. It took me 7 years to put this weight on. This is cheeseburgers, my nigga. Cheeseburgers right here. You know what that is. You don't know what that is. I'm trying to say something. No, sir. Bro, you already know. You know my story, man. Y'all New York was close. Y'all know.
Yes.
Fuck! Oh!
This is cheeseburgers, my nigga. Cheeseburgers right here. This is your boy Big Baby Miller here. A lot can be said right now. I'm gonna get straight to the point. I messed up. I made a bad call. A lot of ways to handle the situation. I handled it wrongly, and I'm paying the price for it. I missed out on a big opportunity. He talking about drug abuse. What drug he talking about? We're talking about something I was in a pre-workout. This motherfucker has fucking use exemptions for testosterone, all kind of shit. Like, get out of here, B. Like, I've been doing my research on you. Who comes out of Olympics at 220 and go to 240 in a year? Like, get out of here, B. You sound like a dickhead. I know bodybuilders don't even put 20 pounds of muscle on a year. This is cheeseburgers, my nigga. Cheeseburgers right here. It took me 7 years to put this weight on. And I'm hurting on this side. You know, my heart is bleeding right now. That's between real and be playing a role, B. So stop it.
You guys need to work on that.
I hurt my family, my friends, my team, my supporters. Stop it, Fob. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm trying to kick, man.
But I'm gonna own up to it. Cheeseburgers, I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna correct it, and I'm gonna come back better. And I'm humbled by the experience to understand, you know, how to handle certain things, man. And I'm gonna leave it as that. You know, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys out there. And, you know, fighters, we go through a lot. And I don't want to make it a bad name for ourselves. And it's time to do right and get right. But you don't know what that is. I'm trying to say something. Bro, you know my story, man. Y'all New York pros, y'all know.
Let's just go to a commercial, stop raining when we come back. Can't do something. Somebody better edit this thing so stop raining.
This is cheeseburgers, my nigga.
This movie is rated R. It contains some nudity, some violence, and mild language. Showtime suggests viewer discretion.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole is.
This franchise situation seems to have gotten out of hand in the Haney Lomachenko case. But I feel very confident about the concept. It's innovative, and it just brings great opportunities for the big picture. I understand the confusion. I understand someone who might question it. I'm just asking everybody to give just a little patience and let this flow. We are in 2019. Boxing rules go back to the WBC's 1963. We are in the era of the technology, of instant replay, of open scoring, of having officials in a different way. So give it a try, give it a chance. We don't intend to confuse anybody. We just want the champions to continue fighting the best fights possible.
I spoke to Bill Haney, obviously Devin Haney's dad and his manager, part of his training team, and we were trying to talk about how do you get an undisputed champion with a franchise champion in the division? Does Devin Haney have to beat Lomachenko and then beat Teofimo, the winner of Lopez Comi? Does Lomachenko? It's all very confusing. How do you get an undisputed champion when there's a franchise champion in the division?
Do you think that the undisputed champion is the top priority in the world of the sport?
Bruh. For fans, I would say yes.
How many unified champions have there been? Yeah,
Probably half a dozen, maybe.
very few. So it's a matter of great importance. And I'm sure that if Canelo or Lomachenko fight a fighter who has the other 3 belts, it's going to be an undisputed. I mean,
Reality can be whatever I want.
How dare you!
we are not concerned about the statistics. We're not concerned about the books. We're concerned about the best fights. We want to give the fans the best fights in the ring.
What's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. You know what it is.
Man, give me a fruit cocktail.
Well, I can't. If I did that, then I'd have to give it to you every day, and I won't get all my vitamins.
You know who you're dealing with?
Chill, Nasty Nate. It's my bitch. Anybody gonna stab him, it's gonna be me.
How dare you!
Problem with that?
I'm sorry, Bob. Better watch your back, fish. Because Squirrelmaster ain't gonna be there for you all the time.
Alright, man, this reading's gonna be long as fuck, man, but it's so necessary. I need y'all to hear this. Let's go. Alright, so, what if Deontay Wilder had accepted the DAZN $100 million offer? On December 1st, 2018, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fought to a 12-round draw in Los Angeles. The fight generated a modest live gate of $3.5 million, with an estimated 315,000 buys on Showtime pay-per-view in the United States and 420,000 more with BT Sport in the United Kingdom, but their anticipated rematch was expected to put up stronger numbers. Tyson Fury was offered a 50-50 split to fight Deontay Wilder at the Barclays on May 18th, 2019, with Showtime, pay-per-view, and BT Sport reprising their roles. Then, things got complicated. On February 18th, 2019, ESPN, Top Rank, and Queensberry Promotion, Fury's promoter, announced a multi-year agreement that called for Fury to fight at least twice annually in the United States. All of his fights were to be televised in the U.S. on an ESPN platform. Wilder was then offered a multi-fight deal that would have seen him fight in spring of 2019 on ESPN or ESPN Plus against a relatively easy opponent for a purse of $12.5 million before moving to a Fury rematch for a minimum guarantee of $20 million. However, Wilder's management team, guided by Al Hammond and Shelley Finkel, with the input from JD's, preferred that Deontay remain with Showtime. And Hammond didn't want to work for Top Rank CEO Bob Arum. The ESPN offer was turned down, but by then, DAZN had entered the fray. On March 12th of 2019, Wilder, Hammond, and Finkel met with DAZN executive chairman John Skipper in New York and were offered 2 alternative packages. The first offer was $100 million for 3 fights on DAZN to be divided as follows: $20 million to fight Dominic Breazeale in May of 2019, $40 million to fight Anthony Joshua in autumn of 2019, and $40 million for an immediate rematch with Joshua in early 2020. Alternatively, rematch with Joshua, Wilder could opt for the same package with the $20 million fight against a non-threatening opponent, throw in between the 2 Joshua outings, and the first fight with Joshua would have been in the United States and the second in the United Kingdom. Wilder turned down DAZN's offer in favor of a 1-bout deal for a fight with Breazeale and Showtime, explaining his decision in terms of self-empowerment. He declared, "I move as I please. Those guys, Joshua and Fury, they have to do as they're told. I make commands and demands. They take them. I move where I want. ESPN and DAZN, they wanted a long term on me. I like to dictate my own career. I don't like people to have too much control over me and my career, because I know where it is and where it's going, A year and a half later, it's time to ask, how would boxing be different today if Wilder had taken that DAZN deal? First, let's note that even if Team Wilder had agreed in principle to the offer, there's no guarantee that the deal would have been consummated. Skipper set forth the basic concept of the numbers that DAZN was offering, and the Team Wilder shot them down. The dialogue never got to the point of discussing details such as what would happen if Wilder or Joshua lost before they fought one another. But let's assume that the details were ironed out and a Wilder DAZN contract was signed, history tells us that many of the DAZN deals has made the past 2 years didn't work out as planned. The network's $365 million contract for 11 Canelo Alvarez fights is a multi-bout agreement and the multi-bout agreements with Gennady Golovkin are Exhibit A and B in that regard. It's possible that Team Joshua would have balked at the terms DAZN offered to their side for Joshua's 2 Wilder fights. There were other contingencies as well. DAZN envisioned being able to opt out of the contract or reduce the money paid to Wilder. If Deontay lost Dominic Breazeale, Wilder took care of business on May 18, 2019 when he knocked out Breazeale in the first round by then Jarrell Miller, who was slated to fight Joshua at MSG on June 1st, had tested positive for a banned substance, performance-enhancing drugs, and replaces AJ's opponent by Andy Ruiz. If Wilder had fought Breazeale on DAZN, it's possible that Joshua would have gone straight into the Wilder fight once Miller tested positive. But more likely, the lure of a big payday for an easy fight against Ruiz would have been too enticing for Team Joshua to pass up. I doubt it. What would Joshua's loss to Ruiz have done to the proposed Joshua-Wilder matchup? Under the contract terms contemplated by DAZN, if Joshua lost or was otherwise unavailable to fight Wilder, Deontay would have received a $40 million purse from DAZN to fight the best in terms of marketability and skill available opponent in each of his next 2 fights. It would have been DAZN's responsibility to deliver Joshua or another opponent. Had Wilder signed with DAZN, most likely his bank account would be larger than it is today. In elaborating on his rationale for rejecting DAZN's offer, Deontay proclaimed, "Soon I'll be the highest paid athlete in the world. You'll see. I'm betting on myself. I look at the bigger picture. You sell me a number. I know there's going to be a bigger number than that." They saw a guy they thought they could just throw some money at and that would be it. But they found out the hard way. I'm no fool, you know. I know the cards that I hold in this division, you know. I bet on myself because I know that I hold the keys and I possess the power. I'm a living, walking icon. I'm the best heavyweight in the world. I'm the most dangerous and exciting heavyweight in the game, period. Everyone is going to want somebody like me. So why would I give that all away when I can bet on myself? So Wilder bet on himself. After turning down the DAZN offer, he fought Breazeale and then rematches against Luis Ortiz on November 13th in 2019 and Tyson Fury on February 22nd, 2020. His motherfucking funeral, actually. Wilder's purse for fighting Breazeale was reported to the New York State Athletic Commission as being $4 million. The real number is speculative, with industry estimates ranging from $12.5 million to $18 million. Showtime Sports president Stephen Espinosa told BoxingScene.com that Deontay's purse for fighting Breazeale was less than $20 million. With the path that he had chosen, the financial opportunities, it's believed that Premier Boxing Champions, the promotional management company controlled by Al Heyman, contributed millions of dollars towards Wilder's purse to keep Deontay away from DAZN. Wilder's official purse for the Ortiz rematch was reported by the Nevada State Athletic Commission as being $3 million. It's thought that he was guaranteed roughly $20 million for the bout, which was distributed on pay-per-view by Fox, and indeed at this point 225,000 and 275,000 buys, since Fox is believed to have needed 500,000 buys to break even. That translated into a lot of red ink for the network. ESPN reported that Wilder and Fury were guaranteed $25 million for the February 2020 rematch. So let's assume for a moment that Wilder's purses before deductions were $15 million for Breazeale, $20 million for Ortiz 2, and $25 million for Fury 2. That comes to $60 million, which is a lot of money. But it's less than Deontay would have earned had he had signed with DAZN. What fights would boxing fans have seen pursuant to Wilder's own contract? As noted above, when Jarrell Miller tested positive for PEDs, Matchroom and DAZN might have pulled down the Madison Square Garden card and gone straight into Joshua Wilder. Based on what we know about Joshua's chin, it's not unreasonable to suggest that Wilder would have fared better against Anthony Joshua than he did against Fury the second time around. Once Joshua's lost to Ruiz, substituting Fury as an opponent for Wilder on DAZN, it would have been problematic, since by then Fury was locked into a deal with Top Rank and ESPN, and the loss to Ruiz would have been devalued Wilder versus Joshua when it finally happened, with DAZN USA being a significantly different place than it is now had the Wilder deal gone through. Probably not. Joshua Wilder was the fight that the boxing fans wanted to see at the time, and the bout that would have been a strong subscription driver for DAZN, but play out of the scenarios. First, Joshua lost to Ruiz, which would have devalued Joshua Wilder when it finally happened. Now suppose that when Jarrell Miller tested positive for PEDs, Matchroom and DAZN pulled down the Madison Square Garden card and went straight into Joshua Wilder. It would have been big, but it wouldn't have had the ESPN and Fox platforms to promote it the way Wilder Fury 2 did. And even, also, quite possibly, DAZN would have lost Wilder when the contract expired. What can be said with certainty is that if Wilder would have taken DAZN's offer, top-ranked Queensberry and Fury would have been on the outside looking in, instead of Fury being the dominant figure on the heavyweight landscape that he is now. As for Wilder's future, Deontay has said that he'll enforce his contractual right for a third fight against Fury before either man fights another opponent. We know that there will be a 60-40 revenue split in favor of Team Fury when that happens. What we don't know is how big the pie will be and what the guarantees will be for each fighter. Contractual details have been kept close to the vest by parties involved, but it's known that Top Rank will be responsible for Fury's guarantee, while PBC and possibly Fox will be responsible for Wilder's. There's likely to be less money to divide up this time than there was for Wilder Fury 2. ESPN Fox, which jointly handled the pay-per-view for Wilder Fury 2, went all in on that promotion. There's a widespread belief that Fox needed between 1.1 and 1.2 million buys to break even on that fight, and Top Rank is believed to have gone deep in the loss territory to pay Fury. Fox, PBC, and ESPN Top Rank have no intention of losing more money on Fury Wilder 3, but neither fighter wants to take less money he was guaranteed for their second bout. Certainly Fury doesn't. Also, one area where Wilder Fury 2 met financial expectation was the live gate. According to the Nevada State Athletic Commission, for the fight generated $16,916,440 from 15,210 tickets sold. But the coronavirus is expected to gut the live gate for Wilder Fury 3. All sorts of places have been mentioned as possible sites. Frank Warren, who's head of Queensberry Promotions, told Boxing Scene. Recently, Macau, Australia, the Middle East. But you ask me, what we know is certainly about Wilder Fury 3, the answer is nothing. There's no date, there's no venue, and we are where we are, and we know, and no one knows where we are. As for Fury against Anthony Joshua, Warren notes, that's even more of a speculative.
A few moments later.
Well, considering as the article took up 12 minutes of you guys' time, I'm going to just go ahead and make this short and sweet. We not cutting. We not doing nothing special. Man, 60 million still ain't 120 million within 3 fights. So basically, you know, your promotional outfit pimped the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? You went from PBC's bottom bitch, you know what I mean, to they top hoe. And rightfully as you should. Because you were misguided by a lot of individuals, and the one guy who really tried to take care of you by the name of Lou DiBella by getting you to the DAZN meeting, you fired him. And truth be told, you wouldn't even have got the little bit of money you got out of the PBC if that DAZN offer was never on the table, because Deontay Wilder was never worth that much money anyway. Those are the facts of the matter. Those are the facts of the situation. So, I mean, stupid on top of stupid for not taking this fucking deal. And imagine what boxing would have been like if he would have took that deal. Well, fight fans, I can't say what boxing would have been like if Deontay Wilder would have taken that deal because, I mean, we already know how it played out, considering the fact that he didn't take the deal. But what I'm saying is Deontay Wilder would have positioned himself a lot in a much better position to be a boss, in a much better position to have a better life after boxing. Even though he still made $60 million out of boxing, he left another $60 million on the table. So he could have made double of what he did. And the fact that he lost to Fury, he's only getting 40% out of the first purse this go round. The zone was fully taking care of you, but you called him a slave ship. Hey, I've already done a video on this, talking about Deontay Wilder's PBC's bottom bitch, something like that, or whatever. It's got prostitute legs on the thumbnail. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can watch that because I elaborated these exact sentiments when I made that video. So, man, it's just amazing how, you know, that the chickens have finally come home to roost. And the truth is coming out because he was flatlined, laid on his back, and pulled out in a stretcher. Hey, man, Deontay Wilder, you never go against God, homie. I thought you knew that being a pastor, bro. But hey, man, common sense and the numbers that were thrown your way, bro. You chose a deflated purse over a 3-fight, highly inflated purse, bro. So, you know, I just feel bad for you, bro. You were misguided. You probably thought those dudes cared about you, man, and they really didn't. That's why it's on you to care about yourself. Look at the bigger deal, man, and look at the bigger picture, man. Think about your future and how you want to move, because I don't know how you, being your own boss, is working out for you right now, other than selling some weak-ass tweet t-shirts and twerking on Juneteenth. But that's all I gotta say about that shit, man. As we always say at the end of this shit, man, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Hey, man, remember that shit I did, signing symbolism with my pop? I put my pops in the ground the day of the fight. Hey, man, it's funny how, you know, the energy of the world work out. I told y'all, man, this was gonna be this motherfucker's near and distant future. Now look at him. Now look at the news articles that's coming out about him. And one more thing. Is that your motherfucking king? Well, regardless of whatever, man, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. It's the motherfucking boss. Respect, though.
Deontay, in closing, do you have anything you'd like to say to your fans?
To all my fans, first off, I just want to tell you guys, especially my day ones, that I love you so much. You know, thank you for the love and the support. Thank you for the support that you've been giving me during these times. You know, I know I'm a king. I know I'm a great king. I know I'm a great leader. I've led y'all so far. I know I'm an inspiration to so many. I know I motivate so many. And just want to tell you guys that I'm still here. I'm not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere at all. Like I said before, we may have lost on that night in the ring, but we're winning in life. And that's where it counts. Most of all, I'll be back stronger than ever. And when I come back, baby, you'll see us regain what we regain our title and become 2-time champion, and we'll continue with regular programming. Until then, I just want you guys to stay safe during these times. We're together on this. This is a fight. This is a championship fight that the world is in. So we got to train hard. We got to do the right things. You know, take precautions and the correct protocol to get through this so we can get to this fight. We got to get through this to get to where we got to go. Again, I love you. Thank you for the support. Till next time.
What's up, world champ?
Man, hold on.
Hey, we the best.
Say.
We the champ.
Hey, this a claim. We gonna see you in a minute.
Man, this is Deontay Wilder.
Okay,
we the world champion.
Hey, man, have a seat. We gonna see you later.
Man, Deontay Wilder, what's up, brother?
Say, sir.
We the
you
best.
wanna be seen at this?
Man, I heard you guys up on the guy. You know the world champion.
Have a seat, man. Yeah, so you know, he gonna prescribe you some new medicine. You heard me? You know, from I mean, it's gonna be so strong. You know, it's gonna put you out of that loop. And then check this out. Whatever you don't take, might bring it back to me. I'm gonna sell it and might get you in the cash for it. You know, I'm retired. But sign right there, sign one more time. Print your name right there. But look, without all the injuries, you heard me? What really happened? What happened?
Man, you didn't see what happened. You ain't seen the fight?
I asked you.
Man, clearly, put him in the blender, put him in the theory. Another one. Knock him to the ground. Pick him up, slam him back down. Another one. Pick him back up. He can knock him out. Pick him back up. Another one. And Brody hit him with the theory. Another one. And then he got him back up. Another one. Oh, Tyson. I see you. You okay?
To this day. Check this out. Man, y'all can't do that in here. You heard me? This a little doctor's office, you heard me? Man, y'all can't do that in here. Matter of fact, you came here too up. Man, you too fat, you ain't even got no heartbeat. Man, look, y'all chill out, you heard me? Somebody gonna call along. This a little doctor's office. Man, y'all gotta chill out.
Man, they still hurt?
To this day. Hey, hold on. Y'all just, everybody just